Museums are the primary cultural repositories, harboring well-documented literature on culture and other social anthropological aspects.
And the day provides an important recognition of museums as key contributors to the well-being and to the sustainable development of our communities.
The goal is to conserve cultural heritage resources for sustainable cultural tourism development in Uganda for present and future generations.
Whereas Uganda was the first to develop a national museum in East Africa in 1908, she has the least number of regional museums which remain largely underdeveloped as compared to her neighbors Kenya and Tanzania, which has deterred exponential growth of the culture and heritage sector. Available statistics indicate that Kenya boasts of about 22 regional museums, Tanzania boasts of about 20 regional museums, and Rwanda has in excess of 10 regional museums. To reverse this trend, the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities took to Soroti City celebrations to mark the World Museum Day under the theme Museums Shaping Knowledge for the Future. Here, the promise to resurrect the dying heritage was met when the Vice President, retired Major Jessica Alupo, officially opened the Soroti Regional Museum, whose dream has been on since 1953.
Inside this museum, we are representing the three regions within the eastern region. That is Bugisu, the Teso'S, and the Karamojong. Within our museum, we have displayed the cultural heritage of Bugisu. We have displayed maybe among the Bugisu cultural heritage that we have put the imbalu function, the stick that the man holds while they are circumcising, the actual knife that is used, and the rug where he stands and where the blood flows.
Tourism Minister Tom Botime has recognized this gap and called on the private sector to invest heavily in the development of museums and heritage sites like Dolwe, and tasked locals near such sites to desist from destructive activities like quarrying in areas like Kapil, which could kill these sites.
I also take this great opportunity to call upon the heritage subsector players to work together with partner museums and monuments to develop these museums and sites for the betterment of our people. I also call upon the people of Teso'S to stop quarrying raw art sites. Many may not be aware, but that is our reality. Apart from being very detrimental, the destruction of rock sites steals from the future of our children. This concerns especially the community of Kapil in the Igora district that has routinely damaged the Kapil rock art site. However, we shall step up our sensitization and protection of this very important site.
In Eastern region, the problematic site is Kapil. Initially, it was at Nyero. We did sensitize, they stopped, and I think you cannot even think, the environment, everything has settled. We had quarrying at Kakoro in Palisa. We had to employ the local person from there to make sure that, he keeps sensitizing people. That one reduced. The others, Dore, they are all okay. Yeah, they are very protected.
Prince Abram Chitaulwa, the chairperson of the Uganda Community Museums Association, has expressed need to inculcate the discipline of cultural preservation amongst the young generation and investment in documentation of the Ugandan culture, which could easily be sold and passed on to the young generation.
A lot of our culture is not documented, but if the PSC gave each museum just 15 million, I know the community museums will use that money to document the culture in the different areas. schools have not taken up this issue. The new curriculum entails every school to take children to a nearby museum. If they can afford to go to Kampala, no problem. But schools have not yet taken over this thing. I beg that through you, the Ministry of Education takes over this and enforces that thing.
The Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Tourism, Doreen Katusime, has re-echoed the need for a bottom-top education approach in the new curriculum, which involves teaching young pupils the gist of museums at a tender age. In addition, it's part of the Tourism Product Development Plan, which will attract more tourists and increase their stay for up to 14 days in the country.
The history of the region is very rich, and this cultural heritage is currently being incorporated in the national curriculum.
The Commissioner for the Museums Department at the Ministry of Tourism, Jacqueline Nyirachiza-Besigye, revealed that more regional museums like that of Moroto are to see the light of day from the seed funding of about 8 billion shillings from the Museum Development Project.
Last year, it was our first time actually in the history of this country to have 8.5 billion towards museums and heritage sites development, and so that's why we have informed you that we are working in Karamoja.
With Uganda being signatory to UNESCO and the African Union, having developed a strategy for museums and monuments for the financial year 2023-2024 to financial year 2029-2030, and having an approved Schedule 2 of the Museums and Monuments Act 2023, if strategically invested in, culture and heritage have the potential to leap Uganda to middle-income status, since tourism already contributes and employs over 60% of her people. Olivia Nakalembe. This is Karibu Travel Magazine.